Welcome back to the Shankly Sessions, the Liverpool podcast that for my sins I bring you each and every day at this stage. If you could do me a real big favour tonight and head over to YouTube and smash that subscribe and bell notification button. And if you could also please drop a like on the video, because I'm certainly going to need it tonight. Where do we begin with that one? This is your match reaction and player ratings. Liverpool 2, Real Madrid 5. The goals coming from Nunez on 4 minutes, Salah on 14, Vinny Jr. on 21 and 36, Militao on 47, and Karim Benzema on 55 and 67 minutes. Liverpool 2, Real Madrid 5. How are you, Morris? Check out GP Productions podcast. Don't even know how you can be angry at this point. I'm not even angry right now, Morris. I'm actually I'm quite sunken, I should say. Quite sunken. As I look around this room here and the amount of memorabilia I have around this room. Gerrard over there lifting the European Cup. Fowler over there for the treble season. Over there on that wall, plenty of stuff from the Champions League win over Spurs. And I am absolutely sick to the pit of my stomach at what I seen tonight. I had that feeling. Last 2 times I had this feeling, I was with my man Dino and I was with the lads over in Aintree last June. And this is how I felt. And on 2018, I sat in the Cop watching Real Madrid beat us. And this is how I felt. And it was just such a sunken feeling, and it's just, you can't even look at this. Like, for those first, say, 20 minutes, we were really, really good. The goal from Nunez on 4 minutes, which I thought was offside. But what a back flick into the back of the net. And then, how could we even imagine? How could we even imagine 2 of the best goalkeepers in the world coughing up 2 goals like that? Courtois, first of all, on 14 minutes was something. When I seen it, I just thought this actually could be our night. We might score 3 or 4 here, and we might actually roll into the Bernabeu in a few weeks' time reasonably comfortable. So this is done. This is dusted. This is not 4 goals against Barcelona. This is not comeback. This is not me deserting my team. This is nothing like that. This is simply, there's no comeback from this, because Real will score in the Bernabeu regardless of what we do. And this kind of match kind of sums up this season. And it sums up something that we've kind of all known, but we've kind of all lived in denial about, that very simply, this team that has thrilled us and brought us on such amazing journeys for the last 4 or 5 years or whatever it is now truly finished. And if we ever wanted an answer about how we should be potentially extending players' contracts, well, we got our answer tonight. And it's just, it's frustrating. It's disappointing. And look, I'll be the first one to say Real Madrid tonight were outstanding. If you ever want to show someone a demonstration of controlling a game after the first 20 minutes, of how to hold on to a football and how to cherish a ball when you're in possession and not cough it up so easy, and how to move from back to front so quickly, and how to identify the holes and the problems within a team in game management, not beforehand tactically, but in game. And Ancelotti is a master of this. He's an absolute master. And remember, this is a Real Madrid team. Casemiro gone to United. Cruz came on as a sub. Benzema wasn't even fully fit. Modric in midfield. And when we talk about our players, and it's often said, oh, the average age of Liverpool at the moment is 28 or 29 or whatever it is. Luka Modric in midfield today. Sublime. Toni Kroos coming on. Karim Benzema up front. And we're talking about the average age of our side being 28 and being a problem. And that just really goes to show you the difference. It's, you know, as Morris said in the first comment, you can't be angry at this because this is just the cream of football when you watch it. It's just, for them, it's just, they drift out of games early on. And then they suddenly just, it's like they get a wake-up call. And it's like as if they're nearly, dare I say, trying to give themselves a challenge. And I did say this, I think, on the preview, and I think I also said it on the match reaction to the Newcastle game. I turned around and I said that we didn't really take our foot off the gas against Newcastle. A 10-man Newcastle at times played us off the park and created chances. And I said that if we do cough up those type of chances to Real Madrid, I did say this tie would be over before it even starts. And I was right. I was right. And it's, you know, we liked to believe we got the result against Everton. We like to believe we got the result against Newcastle, and we like to feel that we were turning somewhat of a corner. But this is Real Madrid coming into town. This is not, and no disrespect to any team, this is not lower level Premier League opposition here. This is the cream of European football. These are the greats. And tonight showed that it's just the levels and the difference. You know, you think about, let's talk about, for instance, let's look at the substitutions. Alaba went off early, replaced by Nacho Fernandez. Carvajal in defence. We talk about the average age of our team being 28. Carvajal must be 50, I'd say, at this stage. Rodrigo goes off injured, and on comes Morris. You'll appreciate this. Dani Ceballos comes on. Karim Benzema goes off. Marco Asensio comes on. Luka Modric goes off, and Toni Kroos comes on. We have Cody Gakpo goes off, and Roberto Firmino comes on. Darwin Núñez goes off. Diogo Jota comes on. Joe Gomez goes off, and I feel for Joe tonight. I really feel for Joe, because Joe in the last number of games has been really, really good. And he was unlucky on one of them playing it on, and he was unlucky on the other one as well. The deflection off his backside into the back of the net. It was just so unlucky for him, you know, and it's just, it's sickening, you know, at times. It's just, but he goes off, and Joel Matip comes on. Jordan Henderson goes off, who I thought put in a pretty good shift for the first 20-odd minutes. And as a captain, he should have found a way to calm things down on the pitch at 2-0 or even at 2-1. But at no point Worked really, really hard, but at no point did he display the captaincy side of things, not the midfielder, the captaincy side of things in terms of getting a hold of things. But he goes off and James Milner comes on. No disrespect to James Milner. He's an absolute Trojan when he comes on. But if you want to compete at these levels, that's not the answer. And then the boy Stefan Bietic goes off on 85 and Harvey Elliott comes on. And Stefan, who's been really, really good the last few weeks. But one thing I've been saying on these podcasts as well is that the reliance on youngsters like Stefan Bietic, who will have a number of really, really good games and will play really, really well, he's eventually going to come up against a side like Real Madrid or a midfield of that kind of ilk or quality. And he will struggle. And he will learn from this experience. And it's a tough one for that kid to learn, 18 years of age. And this is where Liverpool is at the moment. And I've said it this season, early on in the season, we were relying on Harvey Elliott to drag the team through. Another kid. We were relying on Fabio Carvalho at times to drag the team through. Another kid. Now we have Stefan Bietic in midfield. Another kid that we're expecting to carry Liverpool's midfield. Fabinho, sad to say it, absolutely dusted at this level. No legs at all. Jordan Henderson worked really, really hard at parts in the game, but for a lot of that game was chasing his tail. And again, just to separate, that captain side of his role was non-existent tonight. Virgil van Dijk clearly hasn't been the same player since the injury, and certainly hasn't been the same player this season whatsoever. Just looks way off it and bamboozled and puzzled when things go astray. Alisson Becker, I can't really go in on because I really believe without Alisson Becker this season, we'd be in the relegation zone. The amount of saves that keeper has made for us. I don't think he could have done a lot about the first goal from them. I think it was up to Gomez and it was up to Fabinho to close it down and not get the shot away. The shot was an unbelievable shot into the corner. I don't think any keeper would have saved at the pace and speed at which it was at. Then he made a fabulous save right after that. You had Robbo making a goal line clearance nearly to take the ball away as well at one stage in the game. But it just shows the levels in this competition, the Champions League, that you have to operate at. And we're remiss in what's happened to this squad. And we can dress it up any way we want, and we can talk about FSG. And their statement yesterday was absolutely disgusting on the eve of a big European tie. Absolutely disgusting. To put out a statement like that the night before a big European tie is an absolute fucking disgrace for the owners of a club. And I just want to put that out there and get that off my chest, regardless of the information that was in it. Take some comments. Ian, to be fair, this is not Southampton you've lost to at home. It's the biggest club in the world. Absolutely. No argument there. Morris, we need to get to the bottom of this drop-off. Oh, God. It'll come out in years to come in a book somewhere. Maybe Pep Linders will write another book. I think we've released more books this season than we have away wins. True, Ian, but the fall this year has been unexplainable. I think there's a lot that can be explained about it, but it depends. It's hard to know what's the root. Joanne, how are you? Thanks for joining us tonight. Joanne said Liverpool 1, Real Madrid 3. So you weren't far off at a 5-2, Joanne. You kind of got the gap nearly right. Great shout. And by the way, I propped you up on the show last night in relation to your Forest prediction. Fair play. Ian's back in the comments. But it's Real Madrid. Real are hardly going to whitewash them. Yeah. This is a bigger problem than Madrid tonight. Absolutely. 100%. A blast from the past. Danny boy, don't rate him. Coming on playing for Real Madrid. Don't rate him. Acers. Madrid were absolutely fantastic today. Yeah, absolutely. It was just different level. I think for the first 20 minutes, I think we held our own. I think we had a number of other chances that just didn't go our way. I think after 20 minutes, it could have been 3 or 4, let's be honest here, but unfortunately not. Madrid's performance tonight was like Mike Tyson in his prime, killing people. Yeah, it was certainly a knockout punch, no doubt about it. Ted's in, check out Retrotainment. I can't believe we saw 2 massive goalkeeping blunders, one from each team in a game like this. Yeah, Ted, I just said it. I can't believe it. You would have never thought that between these 2 goalkeepers. Just madness. Joanne back in the comments. Nice one. I'll send you my predictions tomorrow for the Champions League. Absolutely, yeah. 100%. Oh, God. Where do we go from this? Right. Before I get into talking about the player ratings, I don't think I can big up Real Madrid any more than I have. But I just want to take a little bit from this game if I can, folks. Starting with this man. He scored the most European goals in Liverpool history now, overtaking Stevie G, 42 and counting. Something tells me 42 might be the total this season, the way things are going. And Ian, you'll appreciate that one. He also has the most assists now as well, actually. Yeah, just put that in with the assist he got for Darwin. And he looked really on it tonight. That's the sickening thing, isn't it? Salah looked really on it tonight for that first 20 minutes or so. And also, Ian will appreciate this. He's also he's drawn level with the great Didier Drogba, 44 Champions League goals in total. What a player Didier Drogba was. So he's level with him now. So that's all I can really take from the game. Acer's back in the comments. Gerrard looks dumbfounded on BT Sport now. I'm sure he does. I'm sure he probably looks how he felt that evening in Istanbul when he was in the dressing room at half time. Thoughts on Stevie G links to PSG? Morris, stop with it, please. Stop. I've had a tough enough day as it is. I've had a tough enough evening as it is. Links to PSG. Well, is he coming out of retirement? He's gone playing or something like that? Is that what it is? Please stop. Ted back in the comments. He was on it for the first half, but I think the halftime team talk, Madrid must have said to shut him down. Yeah, Ted, I think you're right there. They definitely doubled up on him. Morris is going, I'm serious. Morris, stop. This guy. Please. Honestly, stop. You also forgot Athens 07. Yeah. Yeah, I did. Thanks, Acers. Thanks. Just put it in there and twist it. Yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thanks for reminding me. God, Athens 07. Yeah. We won the one we shouldn't have, and we lost the one we should have won. Crazy. Ted, don't know. Do you watch the post-match commentary on BT? Owen was saying Nunez was similar to Drogba when he first came to the league. Everyone thought he wouldn't make it in the league. I don't watch much of the post-match, Ted, because I'm normally on here doing my own show. And quite frankly, on a night like tonight, I really don't want to listen to a lot of the shite that's spewed out about. The narrative is probably that Liverpool are more than capable of going there and scoring 3 goals. And yeah, they're also more than capable of going there and coughing up another 3. So yeah, no, I don't. But if there's anything said, fill me in, Ted, if you're listening to it and there's any nonsense being said, Acer's out with Slippy G and his best Pep Guardiola hat on him. Well done. Acers, congrats. Nice one. And Morris is in the comments. Article in the Liverpool Echo about it today. Morris, that Echo is, it's basically the written word version of clickbait, like the Talk Sport show. So don't be worried about what's written in the London or in the Liverpool Echo. It's all nonsense. He says he sent it to me. Yeah, I'll give it a read in my leisure time. Yeah, good lord, PSG want Steven Gerrard. Stop, as if it couldn't get any worse. Where do I begin? Player ratings. I'm only laughing because it's mad. Ted, how are we? Oh no, they all said the tie is basically over. It's not impossible, but just too unlikely. But Todd Owen made an interesting point there. Bit of coaching and Nunes could be a monster. Yeah, absolutely. Look, Darwin Nunes, for all the talk and everything else that's been out there, you know, and when you think about the amount of time he's missed and stuff like that and all, and he's very new to it and stuff like that, his numbers they're not sensational, but they're not disastrous, and he's not the flop that people think he is. Um, he's been trying to function in a side that's void of confidence all season. But you can see there's a player in there. There's no doubt about it. And he just, with Gakpo going up the middle now and Darwin out on the left, has made a huge difference. But Darwin has played in nearly every position across the front that they tried him. And remember, for big sections of this season as well, when he has played, he's been playing through the middle, which isn't his ideal position. So yeah, now I get you, Ted. Absolutely, yeah, good shout on that. Yeah, and he will, and he is, like he's the quality is there. It's the modern fan that doesn't give players time coming in from another league. Yeah, absolutely, Ian, spot on. And they need that time. There's no doubt they need that time. And Shireen, you know more than anyone. Should look at all the bullshit that's fanning around Chelsea at the moment about players at the moment, this, that, and the other, and all. Should literally only after stepping in the door of the Premier League. Exactly like Mudryk. Acers, John W. Henry was set. Yeah, he was. I'd be surprised if that was the case, Acers. Now, I'd be very, very surprised. Was he? I doubt he was sitting there, no worries on his face at full time tonight. Absolutely. Yeah, so let's do these player ratings. I don't want to be talking about this match all night, really, to be honest. Alisson gets a 4. Look, he's been fantastic for us this season. He's pulled us through many a games, even with draws and stuff like that, where we should have been beaten. He was sensational the other day against Newcastle, had to be. But tonight he gets a 4. I mean, a mistake like that. And again, a lot of kind of nervousness passing around at the back and stuff like that. Needs to hit the front man. We spoke about it the other day, how refreshing it was to see him doing some of that stuff against Newcastle. But it's a 4 tonight for Alisson. Probably one of his worst ratings of the season. Trent. I thought Trent in the first 20 minutes, I thought he was unbelievable. I thought the link-up play between him and Hendo working so hard, and also that link-up play between himself and Salah, I thought at times was sensational. I'm going to give Trent, I'm going to give him a 5. You could give him a 6, but I'm going to give him a 5. I didn't like the way he lost Militao for that goal. He just let Militao run off him. And it's this whole debate again about zonal marking versus, picking up your man, basically. And Cody Gakpo was in no man's land for it. And Cody didn't realise where Militao had come from. And he went and turned around and looked at Trent, going, well, what happened there? Trent literally just let him run right across the box in to get that goal. So, yeah, I'll give him a 5. Joey G. Gomez. Again, he's been hit with a lot. There's a lot of ratings in there at the moment, giving him 3s and 4s and all, But if you look at Joe Gomez, he was up against arguably one of the most amazing front lines in football, in world football. And you have to take on that responsibility. And tonight he was just found wanting again. There was times where he was caught out. Um, Badly caught out for the free kick that he gave away. Badly caught out for the corner that he gave away. But also, you can't legislate for the deflection. Probably wasn't in line with his defence playing the player on. So we'll give him a 4 tonight. Van Dijk gets a 4. Again, I'm worried about Virgil van Dijk in the team. He just doesn't seem himself, hasn't been himself all season. Has been exposed a number of times. I mentioned it last week as well at the Newcastle game, how he was starting to stand off again, and this game of standing off players and stuff like that. Doesn't seem to be the leader that he once was at the back. Doesn't want to seem to take responsibility for organisation there at the back. Haven't seen him as vocal or as in tune with his defence that he has been in previous seasons. And you'd begin to wonder about him. We got carved open tonight a number of times, very, very easily. And it's just a worry if he's our best defender. We need a certain performance out of that guy. Robbo gets a 6 tonight. Robbo will always put in a shift for you. At times just struggled with the final ball. And just looked at like he ran out of gas after a while. He's part of a defence that coughed up 5 goals. So it's very hard on a rating on the boy. He does work really, really hard. First half he was exceptional, came flying out of the block straight away, getting stuck in, but just along the way absolutely lost his way. So yeah, Henderson. Always difficult to rate Jordan Henderson because you're also rating him as a player, but you're also trying to factor in the fact that he's the captain. So he's the one out there that has to marshal the troops. He's the one out there that has to calm things down when things are going a little bit awry. And we were 2-0 up tonight, remember, and we lost 5-2. And I expect the captain of Liverpool Football Club to grab players by the scruff of the neck and grab a game by the scruff of the neck and calm things down when things are going crazy all around them. That's where you look for your leaders. So Hendo tonight gets a 4. And probably a little bit generous. And that 4 is only being tipped on the fact that he worked his socks off in terms of, especially in the first half. But in the second half, they literally just ran him ragged. Their passing tonight, Madrid, was just phenomenal. And he was ran absolutely ragged at times in that game. Fabinho, I've already spoken about him. Fabinho gets a 4 tonight. Just looked off it, and that's the difficulty when you have an 18-year-old in there and Stefan Bietic, Hendo on one side, Fabinho on the other side, and the drop off in Fabinho tonight, even compared to the shift he put in against Newcastle, where you thought you were seeing shades of the old Fabinho back, it just looks like his legs are gone. He's had a lot going on this season. His performances have been terrible. He's had a lot of personal stuff going on off the pitch as well. And I just think maybe with him, maybe we've run our course at this stage. Stefan Bietic, I gave a 5 too. I kind of felt for the kid tonight. He was kind of off at times tonight, gave the ball away, was trying kind of things that a more experienced midfielder wouldn't do in terms of cherishing that possession of the ball and controlling it and make sure that you don't cough it up and give it away easy. So he'll learn from this. He's a very, very good player. He's a talented boy. But this one will sting a little bit with him tonight because they created a couple of chances. And the goal that they scored, actually, the one over the one over the top, that Gomez got back to cover Vinny Jr.'s, the one that the Alisson cock up started with Bietic coughing up possession in midfield. Ball played over. Gomez dealt with it. Ball goes back to Alisson. Alisson goes to clear it. Too relaxed, too laid back. Comes off Vinny Jr. into the back of the net. So that's all I can say on that. Salah gets a 7. Put in a serious shift first half. His movement was sublime. Second half, they figured him out and they started doubling up on him, and then it was kind of more of the Mo Salah that we've seen this season, where he has struggled to get the ball out from under his feet. I think a couple of opportunities in the second half he could have left flying, he could have played shots, but he chose to put the ball out wide. But certainly shades of the Mo Salah that we know was more in the first half. Second half was more like the Mo Salah we've known this season. Doubled up on, running into danger, crowded off the ball getting stuck under his feet, not making decisions quick enough, not moving the ball quick enough, and ending up ultimately giving the ball away or ending up in trouble. Cody Gakpo, what do we say about Cody Gakpo? I just didn't feel Gakpo was in the game today. Much like, it's weird as well, I was watching the game here with Ben and I was talking about, they had scored 3 goals and Benzema hadn't even been in the game. And I was saying that if you weren't watching this game and I messaged you to say Real had scored 3 times, you might have figured that Benzema would have got 2 of those. And I felt with Gakpo was similar to that as well. He just wasn't really in the game. At times he tried to link up and stuff like that. At times he made a little bit of movement that wasn't seen and stuff like that. And at times passes just didn't come to him. But I gave him a 5 tonight, but I just didn't think he was in the game or influencing the game as much as he can. And like that's a trend across the whole team. Because they just, at times, especially second half, we absolutely wilted under the pressure and the brilliance of Real Madrid. Darwin gets a 6. Has had a lot of criticism this year. Was called a flop, all sorts of stuff and things like that. Took his goal beautifully. Really, really strong in possession. Was unbelievable first half. Second half had to kind of work a lot harder on the back foot, coming back and covering and stuff like that and all. Brings an unbelievable level of energy. Took his goal well. But then after that, struggled to really influence the game. Yeah, that's all I can say about Darwin, really. Subs came on. Bobby Firmino came on, didn't really influence the game. Didn't kind of rate these guys much, It's not really a point, really, these guys. Gave them all kind of 5s or 6s or whatever. Didn't really influence the game. Bobby came on, didn't really do much. And this is kind of the answer that you get when we're being asked questions about whether these guys should have contracts renewed and stuff like that. And this is the level at which you're operating at. And it's really, really important that we realise that, Jota I gave a 6-2 as well. Did few bits and all, but never really influenced the game. Matip came on, gave him a 6. Didn't really influence the game. Gave away a few frees and stuff like that. Milner came on, gave him a 6. Again, didn't really influence the game. Couple of tackles. Elliot, I'm not going to rate. He only had 5 or 6 minutes on the pitch. What's he going to do, So that's your player ratings. Let us know your player ratings in the comments or in the chat, or if you're watching it on the replay. Always let us know your thoughts on the game. We'll take some more comments now. Where were we? Haters, Liverpool's offence gets a massive 0. Yeah. Morris, Tim Sherwood just said your season is over. Doesn't get any worse than that. A Spurs man telling you your season is over. Tim Sherwood might tell you he's a Blackburn man now. But who knows? Yeah, well, I think the season, we're still trying to get into top 4. But I wouldn't like to define my season as being a top 4 race, and that's now ultimately what it's become. So he's not wrong. He's not wrong. Ian reckons Tim Sherwood is some useless CUNT. And he goes useless as he looks the parent. Absolutely. Sam's reaction is fantastic. Quality entertainment tonight. Absolutely. Look, we're not naive to think that we didn't see potentially this coming. We certainly didn't after 14 minutes of the game or 20 minutes of the game, but sure. How are we to know what would happen? Jurgen Klopp should hand his resignation letter into the board at the end of the season and sign for Real Madrid. There was talk and speculation of that last week. Ian's back in the comments. Carlo is going to come back to Chelsea and help us win the championship, baby. Wouldn't surprise me. Sorry, Ian. Chelsea sticking by Project Arsenal according to reports today. Carlo is going to be Brazil next manager. Yeah, I heard talk of that today as well, Acers. Yeah, interesting choice. And Ian, that might change when they see the hostility our fans can bring, Morris. He will get to the end of the season and it will be bye-bye, guarantee you. Don't know if you've seen the talk today, Ian. Did you see apparently what they have to pay out? Apparently the talk is that the payout if he goes between him and his staff is somewhere in the region of 82 million. But they're saying that there is a termination clause there for a lot less money if he gets dumped out of the Champions League. So they may be buying their time potentially. I think if Dortmund knock you out of the Champions League, I think he'll be gone. That's my thoughts on it. And listening to the contractual stuff there today in relation to Graham Potter, that sounds fairly plausible. They're talking about nearly 82 million. And they're talking about another 8 or 10 million to get rid of his coaching staff as well, apparently. Massive money. If any manager in world football have any brains, they should avoid Chelsea with a 10-foot barge pole. I don't know about that. I think the Chelsea project is quite exciting. Does Klopp need to just forget the second leg of this tie and just focus on the league? I know anything can happen in the cup, but maybe just rest all the big players and let this one go. You know something, Ted? I'd normally potentially agree on you, but I know he'll spin some positivity on this, that it can be done, that we did it before, and obviously not as much away from home, but that we did it before and stuff like that. But if any Liverpool fan is out there with the naivety to think that Real Madrid are not going to score in the Bernabeu against us in 2 or 3 weeks' time or whenever it is, they are sadly deluded. And if we think that Liverpool can go to the Bernabeu and score 4 or 5, we're deluded. But the problem you have, Ted, there is that I don't know. We don't really have the players to be dropping players, do we? Our hand is kind of forced a little bit, But yeah, no, I get your point. I fully get your point. Morris, 82,000. Wow, Todd will have that under the couch. 82 million, not 82,000. 82 million, Morris, is the package if he goes, not 82,000. I hope I didn't say 82,000. Oh, yeah, you're saying 82 million even. Yeah, 82 million, yeah. That's a lot of cheddar, Morris. And for a clever and astute man in the transfer window like Todd Bowley, that's 4 really, really good players. Apparently that is nonsense, as there's a termination clause if he doesn't finish in the top 6 and gets KO'd from the Champions League. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Ian. There is a termination clause there for a lot less money if he doesn't make top 4. So potentially maybe they're waiting on that to be mathematically impossible as well, and Dortmund may be adding to it. Kyle in the comments, how are you, Kyle? Big up, Niall. I'm only home. I bought my mum to the opera tonight. It was brilliant. I can't believe the result, mate. My God. Yeah, absolutely. It's something, Kyle. It's not even the 5-2 result. It's the way we started in the first 20 minutes and how much control we were in and the other chances that we had. After 20, 25 minutes, we could have been 3 or 4 up, you know what I mean? And sometimes we're creators of our own downfall, but I hope you enjoyed the opera. Nice night out with the mum at the opera. Very cool. Like it, Kyle. Didn't think, Kyle, you were an opera man either. Very nice. Very, 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 very impressed there now. Acers hasn't a clue. We all know that. I just usually ignore him. God, these are getting very intense on the chat. I think 82 million is a bargain to fuck him out. Morris, you're batting for this guy. You want him to stay, don't you? And Ted's in the comments. That's 2 Anthony Gordons right there, Morris. Not for Chelsea, not for Chelsea, Ted. Chelsea are working on the basis of a 100 mil player over 5 to 8 years is like 12 and a half to 15 mil. That 82 million could be like 5, 6 players maybe. And I mean good players, the way they've structured the deals this transfer window. So who knows? Um so yeah, I'll sum it up. Thanks for all joining me. Uh Kyle, sure, sure ain't Niall, but you only have one mother, mate. Yeah, absolutely. A fair play to you. Morris, that one John Joe, that one John Joe, that's one John Joe Shelby dead. Oh God, I can always rely on the chat to cheer me up. So to summarise, Liverpool 2, Real Madrid 5. Liverpool sublime for 20 minutes. Real Madrid sublime for 70 minutes is the only way I can sum it up. We do meet again in whatever it is, 2 or 3 weeks' time. I'll be waiting for it with bated breath. Good Lord. I will be back on Thursday for Thursday Tier Talk for my sins. Yeah, a lot to think about, isn't there? A lot to think about in relation to this team. Apparently a 350 million quid war chest. Looking tonight, we're going to need a 500 million quid war chest. But yeah, not a bit happy with FSG's announcement yesterday and the timing of it. Really, really bad. So we'll go again. Look, there will be a preview coming out for the Palace game. I will be on Thursday Tier Talk. It'll be at the later time of 9:30 on Thursday, by the way. Darren's caught up till 9:30. So this Thursday it'll be 9:30 till 10:30, where we will bring you a Premier League preview. I'm sure we'll have all the fallout from the European games. Darren will be on, Dazzler will be on to talk about them. We will bring you Beat the Bookie. And various other stuff like that, the fallout from these games tonight. Napoli, I think, ran out 2-0 winners as well. So, love a bit of opera. Fair play, Kyle. Nice one in. And Ted, old Voldemort Shelby. And Kyle, big up Ian. And Rico, Rico 63, Agent Carlos. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Absolute struggle tonight, and no surprise. Folks, thanks for joining me. I appreciate some of the comments in the chat. It helped me get through the show, let's say. It's easier than talking to myself. I will talk to you again during the week with more content. But until next time, you'll never walk alone.